I have a question for everybody. Yep, that's usually how you know it's me. I'm the guy with many questions. Kind of makes you wonder. If I know God, love God, serve God, why am I always asking so many questions? Maybe I want people to think. Maybe I want them to use their reason, their ability to reason from the scriptures. You know, reason with your mind. Talk to Jesus Christ and get Him to explain things to you in a way that you can understand. Uh, could be. Uh, should counsel or going up to a brother and sister and giving discipline ever feel good? Should it be like something that we can do and we're like, hey, this is, yeah, they really need it. They got it coming, man. Should we ever have that attitude? Well, to illustrate the point I'm trying to make, and just let me restate the question so it's perfectly clear before I do that. Should you ever feel good about when God tells you to give somebody a word of counsel or rebuke? Should that ever feel good? Should you ever be zealous about doing it? Now I'll explain to you what the deal is. Try to put it into words that you'll understand. A lot of what Jehovah God does, He gives us a shadow picture of in our own family. We see the family model where we have children, a husband and wife, and let's say the kids mess up. Kids do something they're not supposed to. Well, as a father, you know what you should do. A lot of times you know what you have to do to keep them from continuing to make the same mistake over and over and over again. So, should you ever feel good about punishing your kids? Should you ever feel good about calling them to the side and hurting their feelings because they messed up? If you're a dad and you really, really love your kids, you know the answer to this. So why do we punish our kids? Why do we make sure they have consequences for their actions? Why do we even try to counsel them to begin with if it winds up hurting us, if we don't enjoy the experience? Well, because if we don't do it, the state's going to do it, and they're not going to be nice about it. If we don't do it, somebody else will, and they'll be a lot uglier about it. And much like when God gives us a word for that brother or sister, if we don't go to that brother and sister in love and say exactly what He told us to say, we're a little bit responsible for what happens to them. Even though we don't enjoy it, we have to do it because we're being obedient. If you start enjoying it, you know not what spirit you're of. There's no more delicate way to say you need to examine your fruit. You need to look at what you're doing. You need to look at the real reasons why. And you need to pray real hard about things. And then you need to make sure that you have His mindset on things because we don't want to hurt people. We want to help them heal. Sometimes that means going to them with the Word of God and saying, look, you need to cut away all this stuff that's eclipsing you from truly hearing God. and that's what we do. Much like when our kids mess up, we we discipline them. We're like, no, I love my kids, but I'm not going to have them raised by the state. I'm not going to have them mess up so badly that they get into trouble, they get a prison record. If I've got to, take away their toys, their computer, whatever, I'm going to do it. It sucks. It hurts me because I don't want to see them have pain. I don't want to see them in utter anguish, but I can't tolerate disobedience. And God doesn't like that either. So, anyway, hopefully you get the point I'm trying to make. And I did make a video on how you should feel about receiving correction as well. You might want to check that out. Thank you guys. As always, use discernment. Use your brain. That's why God gave it to you. Okay? Okay? If something don't make sense, there's a reason why. Alright? Alright, guys. God bless you all.